mean, we are in more danger today than when we were before 9/11.
Yes.
Because at least at 9/11, we knew that Al-Qaeda, who was over there, was plotting to do attacks against the United States. We never imagined they would do what they did on 9/11. But today, what makes it different is ISIS is here.
Yeah.
And now we have almost 1,000 ISIS operatives that are being monitored. These are the people that we know about, that we are monitoring. Can you imagine those we do not know about? I mean, look at the San Bernardino attack, Jan. We did not know they even exist. They were not even on our radar screen. We were not monitoring them. So how many of them are here really who are plotting individual jihadi attacks right now, which means anybody can walk into any mall in the United States and start firing at people? Can you imagine what that would do?
Yes.
This is the scary part. And the fact that our government knows that we have these Islamic operatives operating in our community, operating in our country, yet our elected officials don't even have the spine to say, we're going to be infiltrating the Islamic communities, we're going to be infiltrating mosques in this country, we are going to be monitoring your Facebook, we're going to be monitoring your telephone,
That's
we're
right.
going to be monitoring what's happening, anybody radical, anybody that we suspect, we're going to be monitoring. The fact that we don't have any leader with a backbone to come on television and make those types of statements, that's the scary part.
Well, now we've got House Resolution 569, the left in Washington voting to criminalize any negative speech about Islam, which just takes this a step further with absurdity.
It is absurd, but the good news is this is not going to get anywhere. This is a resolution all written by very leftist elected officials, and I already spoke with a lot of members of the House. As you know, Act for America has a full-time director of government relations. We work with many elected officials on Capitol Hill, and the elected officials that we work with, both in the House and Senate, they said there is no chance in a blue moon something like that will ever pass, and they gave us at least 3 different scenarios where they can shut it down. So there is good news. But this is such an important point that you bring up, Jen, with this resolution, because we need to realize that the extreme left in this country is trying to silence people like us who are speaking the truth. And they are trying to jeopardize our freedom of speech. And now, more than ever, we, the American public who are concerned about what's going on in our country, to start opening our mouth and speaking the truth and standing boldly, standing and speaking authoritatively against evil and speaking in defense of our security, our liberty, and our values. Our country is calling every single one of us, everybody that is listening to this radio broadcast today, you need to get involved. You need to get involved with your local political party. You need to get involved with organizations like ours. You need to be listening to radio programs like this radio show on a regular basis. You need to support organizations like ours who are doing the fight on your behalf to protect the country. Stand with us financially, with your membership, whether with the radio program, whether with our organization Act for America, whether with you showing up to every political rally in your community and making it a point to get to know your elected official. The survival of your children depends on what you do today in your lifetime.
You might want to check out Brigitte's book. The most recent one is They Must Be Stopped. You can find that in any bookstore. You can find it online as well. And as she says, look into becoming a part of her organization, actforamerica.org. 300,000 members currently, and all of them have a passionate love for our country.
I just think, the pressure from the media is so extreme today. It was something that our forefathers didn't have to face, and that's part of it, this constant desensitization about Islam. I think we ought to go back and ask, what would Jefferson say about this? He was faced with Islamic extortion, and he knew from his research and understanding that Orthodox Islam, does not assimilate well, and he was against raising a navy, but yet he had to do that and did so to stop what was going on during the Tripolitan War, where they were getting our ships.
Yeah.
This is exactly, think about it. Now, today, we're inviting the very troubles and the very problem that Jefferson stood against. We're inviting them on our shores and acting like there's nothing wrong. Nothing has changed, though, in Orthodox Islam. And when America gets that picture, I'm afraid it'll be too late. But if America could wake up to that picture, I believe we could go a long way in saying no more refugees. We're not going to do this. We love people. We love to help people. But if we can't vet them, they can't come.
Eric, it is so important, especially for our Christian audience, to understand that God uses his people to make a difference. The Christian community needs to pray and needs to become engaged. They need to stand up for this country. This is a Christian nation founded on Judeo-Christian values, and our values right now are under threat by an enemy dedicated to our destruction. We need to come together and pray for our nation, and we need to come together and work to protect our nation. I tell people we are used as instruments in God's hand. This is how God makes a difference in society. And we have a burden more than the average person because we know we are instructed to do what is right, to stand up against evil, to show with our action as well as with our prayers where we stand. You know, Jesus walked into the temple angry when he realized what was happening in his temple. It is okay to show anger and become active. Turn your passion and turn it into something good that will make a difference for the country. Do not internalize that passion. Do not internalize that fear. Do not internalize that frustration. Take those feelings in your hands and say, God, I put them before you. Use me to the best of my ability so I can make a difference for you, for our nation, which you helped create. America is a beacon of light to the world. God's hand is in the United States. This country is a miracle by itself, by its existence. And we have a duty as the greatest nation on earth, with the greatest blessing on earth. No nation have risen to power so fast and so amazing and contributed so much to society, to the world, like America has. God's hand was on America, and God's hand, I believe, is still on America, and is calling all her people to stand up and speak the truth and come together and be involved for the sake of our country.